Power 102 Digital.
Yes, certainly it is right here at Power 102 Digital. It's time out now for Hard Talk. On the Tuesdays, we do Trini Ting. It's all about way music and way culture. I have on the set with me some distinguished gentlemen, crusaders of the art form, and of course, they are representing various tents that are opened right now for the carnival season. I've invited a representative from Kaiser House and from Classic Russo, but I guess they're all tied up, even one from the community tents. So I have these three distinguished gentlemen with me, so we're going to get the show on the road. With me is Ras Commander, Sheldon Nugget, and both of us, three of us gonna share with you what's happening at the Calypso tent. So let me start with the Ras. You know, charity begins at home. I'm a South man. Sheldon don't feel anyhow. And seeing that San Fernando is kind of distant from the epicenter, the city of Port of Spain, where Carnival rules supreme, if I should say. I have with me Ras Commander. He's Steve Pascal. And of course, good afternoon, Steve. How are you? Okay, let me see. Your mic is muted. Let me unmute you.
Yeah, see my mic is muted.
Yes, go ahead. How are you, my brother?
Nice. I cool and all. So you hear me now?
Yes, I'm hearing you nice and loud and
Right.
clear. Tell me something.
Nice.
You are the representative from Kaiso Showcase in San Fernando. What position do you hold with Kaiso Showcase? Let people know.
Well, as I said before, good afternoon to each and everyone locked on to your wonderful program, Hard Talk. I've been the leader of the cast more, so they picked me. I don't know why. Maybe it started a few years well, but I've been the first to begin. I was the founding secretary of Tuco South Central Zone, and then I took up the position of chairman somewhere 2002, somewhere there, and today I'm still the chairman as well as the vice president in Tuco, and I've been leader of the cast of Kaiso Showcase for a very long time, about 20 something years, and this is how I'm part of the management as well, so not just leading and singing, but also in the administration level. And I must tell you that it's not an easy task, to manage and sing. It's not an easy task.
Okay, tell me, when was the tent open for this season?
Oh well, we opened on the 27th. No, the 12th. We were going to open on the 27th, and the judges and them. I should say the adjudication community decided that listen, we had a poll. So when we pull it, apparently we pull for the judges to come on the 26th, and we were to open on the 27th. So that was making sense. So we had to make a quick spin around, and we decided to open on the 12th of January. And we opened to our usual packed house at Palms Club in San Fernando, the home for Calypso at that time. So and we have so far we have about 3 shows have gone, with Judges Night. It was on the 19th. As well as and we had a nice show on the Thursday before the 18th. So things have been moving. We were supposed to have we expected to have a clash this Friday with Kaiso House. So we're looking forward to that because last year we went in town, and I wouldn't say what happened, but they needed to come San Fernando to get us a repeat of that.
Tell me, show times. When can people
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock sharp.
Every night?
Yeah, every night. Except special shows like this Sunday, we're doing a show for the Trinidad and Tobago Association for Retired Persons. We call them TAP. We have a special evening show from 4 o'clock for the retired people, and that is always I looked out for show. That organization have a lot of membership, and we give them a special package. So the TAP people can look out this Sunday.
Yeah.
Huh?
This Sunday, right?
Yes, Sunday coming. This Sunday, the 27, 28, 28, yeah. This Sunday, 28, right?
Yeah. Right there at
We'll be
Palms
doing
Club.
that event. Nah, San Fernando. I'm glad you make mention of that because we will be no longer performing at Palms Club for the rest of the season. We have the City Hall in San Fernando for the rest of our season we at the City Hall because it's a smaller venue. It's more accommodating in terms of you get that feeling, a tighter affiliation with the audience. So, they holding about 250, 300 people seated comfortably. So we have decided to will utilize that venue for the rest of the season.
Okay, okay. Tell me, any special entrance fees for like
For people
weekly,
like
during
yourself.
week?
No, we haven't gone into that arena in terms of special packages.
Mhm.
That is more for the fiesta, Kaiso fiesta. And the tent
Okay.
is like we might throw in a 2-on-1 ticket depending on the night, but after the judges' night will be 2-on-1 usually because you want to have a packed audience for the artists and them to present themselves to the judges. So usually
Yeah,
those are the nights that you will get in our tent. That is I'm talking about. Those are the
yeah,
nights that you will get some sort of deal or some kind of thing if you want to call it that. But usually our fee is 100. The grand opening was 200, and
yeah.
depending on the special event, like if you might have a clash or something, you know, you might charge 150. But the fees vary really and truly.
Okay, okay. Are
Nothing
you
is
feeling any,
certain.
are
Huh?
you feeling any, is there any impact or are you feeling pressured by the shortness of the season?
No, not really. As a matter of fact, I just want it to come and go. I telling you honestly, I just be happy when it finished because you're dealing with a lot of divos and divas, and you must understand. People's chest does get high. No, if a calypso I get 2, 3 encore opening night,
Hmm.
well, boy, you can't talk the year again. Half of them, chest get big. They want to walk in when they want. Even
Yeah.
though they sign a contract and you tell them, listen, you have to reach by X time.
Hmm.
Trust me, you will get some people feeling that they could do what they want, and then they want to be in every competition. You see that competition out there,
Hmm.
and I understand people always want to earn the little extra income and thing, right? But sometimes you must respect the administration. You must respect the administration because you sign a contract. But
Yeah.
guys, so they understand that they want to go in this competition, go in that competition. And you just don't even know how dread this thing is when you're the administrator. If you're not the administrator, you don't feel it. But remember, we have you in a position to sing X or you're number fifth. We know why we pay you there, right?
Hmm.
It's a package, it's a deal.
Yeah.
You ain't come tonight. You ain't tell me nothing but you're going in that competition because you feel you could be the competition and then run back to we. And it puts the thing in a chaotic situation. So most time what we do, when you miss your spot, that is the end of it.
Hmm.
Once you miss your spot, so we operated in Kaiso Showcase.
All
So I
right.
know Sheldon might be able to give some other experiences that
Let
he
me say a
having.
very special good
Yo,
afternoon. Yes, Alan, how are you, my
blessings.
brother?
It's a pleasure to be here today. I'm all right, man.
Tell me about your opening and your
Well,
itinerary.
we opened on the 13th at La Jolla, which I wasn't at La Jolla for a little while, but we back at La Jolla.
Oh,
And we
okay.
had a bumper show first night. Our tent is headed by Johnny King, Cardinal Bali, Dirty Curti, just to name a few.
Yeah.
But opening night was nice, and we continued. We had a show in a place called Majestic Garden in Granly, which was a nice show too.
Hmm.
Then we had Judges Night on the 21st at Sports Entertainment Center, which we had a good turnout,
Hmm.
and our artists really performed. So we looking forward for about 12 pick for this kind of bag thing. Honestly, I've been honest. I ain't lying. Everybody can get the rest,
Yeah.
So no, I'm being real. I mean,
Let me ask you this.
everybody was kind of flawless.
Right, right, right.
Trinidad is not a real place.
Well,
Anyhow, shall I tell me the effects of the shortness of this season? Is it if
well,
affecting?
it's always good to have a long season. The longer the season, the more money a calypsonian can make. The shorter, well, the shorter is the shorter. And what going on to the competition thing is where artists really get an extra thing, yeah. So
Right.
I think the competition is necessary, but as Rascamanda said, everything must be in moderation and thing, and we don't know how to conduct ourselves with the management and
Speaking of
work.
speaking
Yeah,
of
go on.
competition, um, seeing that we in Trinidad and Tobago and probably the world have grown accustomed to the carnival season. You know, I would like to advocate, and I do advocate for an all year round thing. You know, so that Calypsonians could probably perform at certain places, or maybe they should have a stable base where not only for the carnival season this can be, you know,
I,
happening. Is that a good idea, or is it something really just for a season?
I think that is a brilliant idea, and I think some of the money that is made in Skinner Park could be invested in some kind of establishment for that to happen,
Yeah,
so that Calypsonian could have a venue.
yeah.
I mean, I personally always believe that the money that has come out of there, that if we take a 5 years or a 6 years and we allocate some for every zone to have a building and a place at administration place and a place where artists could perform, we could do it,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
because we can't continue like this.
No, because it creates that sort of problem or as Commander was talking about with artists, you know, moving around and looking for competition to see they can make an extra dollar. You
Yeah.
know, from a tourism point of view, you know, we hear the heads talking about diversification of the economy and all kind of thing. You know, what I call we music and we culture can certainly add and enhance that diversification that they're talking about. But seems like to me they're not very interested into it. Do you think the corporate people can come on board to probably facilitate? You know, I know that there are connections with Tuco and NCC, and you know there might be hurdles to cross. But if you guys can have the okay to bring on board corporate people, you know, sponsorship to the extent that you know the sponsor will help you meet with the operational procedures, probably help you maintain a specific venue that you can call home all year round. So when tourists, especially international tourists, come here, because we have a lot of local tourists too, the people move around too. There are people who like to move around and enjoy a nice Trini thing. What do you think about that? Having corporate people on board.
I think that is necessary, but because the government can't do everything,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Tuco of itself should kind of work towards that kind of thing you're talking about there,
Yeah.
because let me just say, God forbid that Tuco stop getting funded, what will happen?
Yeah.
We go for long, so we need to kind of come together and work harder to be self-sustainable
Yeah. Yeah.
in some aspect, you know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Ras Commander, what do you think about that?
What I
Having
must say is that
a
the culture of
permanent base. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I hear you. The culture of Calypso is on a precipice. Let me be real. The
Yeah.
people who still love this art form is of a different demographic. Is over 50 and 60 now. The next half die out already. You see, when people used to come Kaiso tent and thing, they never used to bring their youngsters with them. Apparently, the Kaiso tent money was a taboo. I don't understand why they never used to bring the young ones.
Mm-hmm.
So one day a man wake up and he decided to create a big people music and turn it a young people music. And you know, and say soca is for youths and calypso
Yeah.
is for old
Yeah.
people.
So yeah.
So that division
Yeah.
created a problem. But come back to your point with corporate sponsors. Corporate sponsors always had a problem with Calypso and Calypsonian. You see, we are the people who just talk the truth and beat you under your foot.
Mm-hmm.
And who wants to hear a man who beat him under my foot? So you find we don't get too much of people trying to support the Calypso in terms of sponsorship. It has some who support the Fiesta, you know, because of the greatness of the Fiesta and the people using your product in the Fiesta, you know, the liquids, you know, I'm not calling no brand names, so they will put in something. By an act of parliament, unless they revoke the act of parliament, the government is obligated to support Tuco, Panchelbego, and NCBA or whoever is running Carnival now. You see, because it's a legislative procedure that we engaged in major rest Mr. Pandey's spirit in peace. In 1997, Mr. Pandey was wise enough to say, listen, I ain't want a problem with all the interest groups, you know, right? NCC, will take care of you guys, and you will have to do your own business. So Calypso run your show, Pan run your show, Marsh run all the show. We give you the subvention, run your thing. The thing about the Fiesta, I want to direct this to Sheldon, if I may. Half the people in the Fiesta will be free.
Hmm.
You
When you say
see,
that,
it doesn't look like we're making money.
But
Right?
somehow we had to cut out that, boy. Somehow we had to find a way to cut out that.
You know already for the past 2-3 days, my phone have been buzzing
Yeah,
from
for
early
tickets.
morning for tickets.
Mhm.
I put up
Free
on
tickets.
Facebook. Where all the outlets are. But some people start to laugh because they read between the lines.
So they feel use the outlet.
So some say, yeah. I say, I know your outlet tickets on sale at this part, that part, that part, that part, that part in San Fernando, that part in Tongue, that part in the East, and accordingly. So we are challenged as an organization, but we have to find some way to get the testicular fortitude to take a position, take a stand, to tax the competition. Like for example, I had heard, I'm not sure, don't quote me, that Punch and Bagel used to take a percentage of the prize monies to run business or to do things. I think it's time to go. Although we had tried that as a but we never continue with it, right? To take a percentage of the what they call it, the fee, the prize money, and engage it in doing things for the organization, maybe building fund or whatever, welfare fund, whatever.
Yeah,
So
that is
basically,
necessary.
that is how the thing is. But my brother, it will take me a while before we really get it to where we want to get it. Because right now, I could tell you, I will be watching Trinidad is the generational music right now.
Yeah.
We could say what we want, right? We have a particular demographic, must be real and recognize that the Calypso tent, no matter how attractive we try to bring it, let me share something about elders. One, they frightened with the crime. They ain't grow up with gun, so they don't get horrors if they see a gun. The youths, them growing up with gun, so it's no problem for them to see a gun. So them coming out to line, them fetting them, doing what they want, their business. So crime is one thing. Now we hear about this new scourge, this coming back again
Yeah.
of the
The
COVID,
reoccurrent. The
right?
reoccurrent.
Yeah. So you hear about the COVID again. So you find the demographic that usually attracted to the tents, they are being challenged, by
Most
different
definitely.
things. So we have to find meaningful way to incorporate the modern style of music into the package. We don't even want to use the word tent
But you,
again, as far as
I think we need to expose the youths and them more to the calypso thing. I mean, calypso.
exactly.
I think calypso should be taught in school as a subject. Honestly. So it will come like we introducing the youths who don't know about calypso to calypso, not the who's singing or anything, but calypso itself is a force. And if we expose them to it, because I went to certain places already and sing calypso for youths, and them never know about this one and that one and thing. And when I started to talk about this, they get to like it. So more of that will encourage them. So they could grow up with calypso and then will come to the tents.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just seeing that one of my
Invite
invited
your
guests,
guests.
yeah, is on the set with me. I know he's a very busy man. Let me say hi and good afternoon to Randall Donovan. How are you, Randall? Are you hearing me?
I think he might mute. It looking like he might mute.
Oh yes, good
Right.
afternoon, gentlemen. My apologies for the delay. I'm actually on the road,
I know.
I'm
so
not
hence the reason.
familiar with Mr. Rondell Delva. I'd like to see his face. Who is
Well, he's on the
I am
road.
on the road,
that
Mr.
Calypso,
Pascal.
I joking. I joking.
I am on the road, so my
Yeah, man.
apologies.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know. I
Mm,
know Rondell is a very busy guy. So let me pose the same questions I've been posing to you guys. Rondell, tell us about
mm.
the opening of Kaiser House, where it's located, and showtime and the effects of the short season.
Sure, no problem. Now good afternoon to your viewers and listeners. Of course,
Yes.
uh, Kaiso House opened on the 18th, Friday the 18th of January, to a spectacular production man by 25 Calypsonians at the modern Savannah Grass tent. That's the big white tent in the Savannah. So I mean, our cast is vast, from the veterans to the youths like myself. I will always consider myself a youth until I'm no longer until I start to get gray, right? but of course we have a dynamic. Although I'm green already, somehow I don't know how, but we have a dynamic cast in Kaiso House, of course. And if I may just announce the cast members for your listeners' benefit, Brother Valentino. Of course, that is the veteran and star of our tents. We have Poser, Brother Mudada, Brown Boy, Marvelous Marva, Gypsy. Of course, if you haven't listened to Gypsy yet, you need to come to the tent to hear him, you know? Yeah, because of course, as Mr. Pascal would have viewed, his song is a witty song. Your mother can't. Yeah, your mother can't believe. Yeah, boss.
Only a veteran could pull that.
You understand? Right, we have Twiggy, Bud Bunny B, Corinne Ashe, Dwayne O'Connor, Chuck Gordon, of course, Tizzy O'Connor reading Clips of Monarch. It's the 10th of the Monarchs. Rondell Donovan, myself, having, of course, I'm always a member of the showcase, but of course, as time progress and as portfolios increase, I end up in Kaiso House, right? We had Black Sage.
I hear the lawyer in him there, boy.
That's myself, Black Sage, Calypso Curse, Sister Ava, Lady Aisha, Aaron Dunker, Mr. Shaq, Nefta Kojo, Young Poser, Queen Aye, Traveling Man, and we have two new additions. Of course, Akishia, she was part of the tent many moons ago, and of course our junior Calypsonian who is now an adult. That is Mark Pierre, very very promising artist. So we have a big cast. Of course, we had Michael Teja, who would have performed in opening night, and he's also coming again on Judges Night. Judges Night is tomorrow, right, at 8 p.m., right, at the Savannah. $200 single tickets, 2 for 1, $300. And not forgetting, we are backed by Kern Somerville and the Sensational Band, as well as our lovely Kaiser House Jewels. So it's really a good. I'm claiming the season to be good. I mean, I know I would have entered the discussions where Commander would have spoken about the advent of the Trini bar music and the Calypso tents, and you need to adjust the Calypso tents and probably revamp or re-strategize how we promote Calypso and how we deal with Calypso tents moving forward. And I totally agree with the discussion, actually.
Okay. I also asked them if we should have a permanent residence for each of these zonal tents all year round for the diversification of the economy. I think Calypso should be showcased probably on weekends, public holidays, and I think they should have a permanent space, unlike during the carnival season when we have them at this tent, and when the carnival season is done, it's no longer there, and people don't have the income to.
I mean, I agree, but then I totally agree with these spaces. And what I realized when I was growing up, there were spaces that were sort of a permanent fixture for Calypso and the arts, and somehow as time progressed, I mean, we had like in South, I don't know if you could recall, there was this place on, it was up, you would know, just on, I think it's Upper Hillside, San Fernando. I think they at one point they used to have it was a spot where they used to have bingo and they used to have Calypso and stuff as well. Just before Skiffle Bunch, Panya, before you go down the hill to Skiffle Bunch, Panya. I know there was a area there after the Boreal.
I remember.
Yeah, yes. I can't recall the name at the moment. I know there were spaces where they just used to promote Calypso and Mascam Pub, right? Which was a physical structure. So there were places where we could have promoted, and somehow, I don't know if because of the investment, because of money, things are expensive now. Obviously, you can't pay artists or what you used to pay them long time. So it's a lot of factors, and then also treating Calypso as a business too. How can these tents or how can the zone, sustain our own outside of the carnival season? That is a discussion I believe we should have before entering into the discussion of having a permanent fixture of Calypso
Yeah.
venues in the zones.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Tell me something. This season is very short, and what was preparations like to get things up and running? I know, I know how it is, especially when the carnival season comes around. You know, it comes right after Christmas. Some people get themselves in a order of preparation during the Christmas season, sometime before the Christmas season. So, gentlemen, each of you, just tell me what was preparations like for your individual tents in the build up to the carnival season as you are open now. The build
Well,
up to what's opening.
well, for us, it's a normal procedure, you know. We in the game so long that it's just we know that we had to have what do you call it? The for the Calypsonians, the word missing me our old age boy. Um, for the Calypsonians to come and sing now, what the word again? It losing me,
Audition,
boy.
auditions,
Audition,
auditions.
right? Audition is
Audition.
losing me. So we know the time for audition is usually around September, October, November, right? From September you can start to get yourself in a gear, right? So from audition we put things in place, like we need to put out the thing for band, and with the new procurement situation we had to allow people more time to send in the invoices and what have you to try to get to be part of the event. Well, for Calypsonians, everybody know recording is important because you want to come to audition with the best recorded song, because you want to give yourself the best chance. Venue, well, we had a venue that was is normal for us, so contact who we doing for lights, who we doing staff, and everybody had a particular work to do, whether it's a cleaner, whether it's a lightsman, whatever. So it's a normal procedure. Every year it's the same thing. The only difference might be some new artists and some creative ways you want to pull more people into the tent, that kind of thing. But first, by December, the first we must have a cast done, selected already, and looking to create that time for them to do the rehearsal, depending on the season as well. Like this year, we started rehearsal, if I am mistaken, first week or the last week in December. We started rehearsal because we know that we was opening was our early season. Strange enough, we thought we was opening the 27th, and then we had to push it back to the 12th. So but everything the biggest challenge has been you need your startup capital, right? Because you had to pay for ads, you had to pay for this, you had to pay for that. Some people want a little help. The artists who get selected might want to write his cause. So you need to try to support a man. You'll give him something like half a week, the first week, salary, stipend, whatever you want to call it, and all these things that be in place. It's very important to, well, we recognize that it's very important to have what do you call it, a team of a public relations team of people who really good in the game, and this year for the past 2 years we have secured some professional and have been working nice for us. I must say, Shirley Lewis, big you up, because you're good. So they're doing a lot of work and making it easy for my head and the rest of the executive to just run. So basically from on our side, that is how we have been doing the thing, and we don't see no really rationale for moving it from that normal procedure.
Okay, Sheldon, what's your take on
Well,
preparation?
we had a tendering process for the band, and for a couple of years we've been working with Ricardo and the Sunshine Band, and we went back with him this year because it's a good band, and our thing really start from Bring Your Music and come in October in celebration of Calypso History Month. So we just filter singers from then. So we have a good team: Judy Benaku, Johnny King, Dirty Curty, and these are the people who just put things together. We have we pull in about 4 new people this year. Young singers: Jerisha Regis Duncan as one, Papa Mel, Slick, who has been with us for a couple of years too. But our thing is a tight thing, and like I said, we know we're doing everything, and we also working with Charlene Lewis too. For the first time, they're doing marketing on social media, and things working out.
Yes, yes. I'm gonna get to that in a short. Rundle, what was preparation like for the Kaiser House? You know, they call Kaiser House the flagship house.
Well, of course, the
Tenth.
vice president is here. So, well, should I be honest?
Yeah, be
It
honest, be
has been,
honest.
hectic. It has been hectic. I mean,
Be honest.
it
Yeah.
has been. I don't want to use the word painful, but it has had its challenges
Yeah.
in terms of
Tradition.
breaking the status quo of what is the norm,
I like
right?
that word.
Yeah, the tradition.
Status
Right,
quo.
let's put it that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So therefore it means that you would find, or you would have seen in this installment, that the tent has, we have our veterans, we have persons who have been, we have the monarchs, we have 5 monarchs, we have been, I mean, but you've seen where there are also new persons within the tent framework, right? So instead of just having 30 people seated, now we would have opened up the auditions to everyone, for everyone to submit their CDs and also to audition, right? Of course, the tent is the flagship tent of Tuku. It is the general council of Tuku has oversight over the tent. The tent has a management team. The management team consists of Mr. King, Ainsley King, who is the chairman of the team. We have Brother Valentino, the tent manager, myself, Karina Shea, and Melissa Campbell Williams. Well, Karina Shea, of course, is the welfare officer of Tuco. Melissa Campbell Williams, she is the assistant treasurer. But be that as it may, uh, we were able to get things done. We were able to open a fantastic show. Persons, I mean, obviously, if you are not in events promotion or events planning, you will never know the kind of headache it goes through that with producing such a show, right? I mean, what I admired, I mean, at least from the South Central 10 zone, me being a part of it before, is that, everything is timed. You have your auditions early. You have everything set. But of course, when you are dealing with a larger scale tent like ISO house,
Mhm.
it can become challenging. But at the end of the day, it's rewarding and successful, and we are seeing it by the fruits of the labor. We have a brilliant team in terms of marketing promotion. Our media team is Vision Adobe Media, as well as all our team members and the executive and management of the team are doing what we have to do in order to make the tent a success.
Yeah,
Right,
Tommy.
so that's most important.
Yes, I understand. I'm happy that you're touching on these points here because as it is now, I mean the whole world is evolving. It's more e-world now than how it used to be, right? So where promotion and marketing are concerned, um, I know there are some veterans at these Calypso tents who are not really savvy. Um, is there marketing teams involved in each tent now that can be savvy enough to promote via these social media platforms?
Well, from my I'm glad to hear Sheldon talk about STG, Sheldon Lewis production team, and I'm glad to hear Rondell speak as well. Because beside that, we have a powerful IT man by the name of Mr. Devon Seals. And I know he have very good skills, in that, as he also he's the marketing manager of Tuco. So, we have recognized over the years that you cannot run the business without understanding the role of internet, the role of the super information highway. Because you want to get to the most people possible, you have to go there. It's important that we understand streaming the events, using the different financial facilities to get some monetizing of your event, and so you can't run from it. Yes, you will get the challenge of some of our veterans not being savvy to what is happening, but eventually we have no choice, because as the dinosaur saw himself, he eventually I don't mean it to sound the dinosaur because maybe he didn't want to understand what is happening. You know, tractors is coming on the scene, big, large equipment, aeroplanes, so forth, so forth. He had to evacuate the premises. So similar to human beings who don't want to really understand what is happening. You know, I am on TikTok. I am on all the different social platforms because I understand what is happening. Yeah, I just see you. I just send a following for you.
I just see you with your phone, you know, right? You remember in the legacy concert how you was moving?
Yeah, so that
Sorry, you go ahead.
Yeah, I understand how important it is not to be left out. You know, as parents, we have to follow our children, our grandchildren, what is happening. So that in itself makes you a part of what is happening. So it follows any business venture that you're in. Otherwise, I couldn't be on your show Hard Talk right now. You know, I just had to be asking. I could come by the station or some kind of thing. So
Sheldon, what's your take on the technology?
Yeah. Well, I think our executive is savvy to the whole thing. And in tune with what's happening with social media, because they realize that promotion is it. And one of the days are flyers and all these kind of little things that people used to be used for promotional purposes. Everything is on the web now. And if you're not in the web, you're in a hole.
yeah.
Well, I know Rundle has a dynamic team. Rundle, tell me about your expand.
Oh,
I should say.
Sure. The thing is, what I must say is that the seniors, or rather the persons who are of a higher age bracket, they are very much tech savvy, I must say. You know, they are very. I mean, when asked to be on TikTok and stuff, I refuse to be on TikTok because I don't want to get warped into that madness. But I understand the value of also being. You also have to keep up with the times in order for you now to know what is happening in the world and with your kids and your grandkids, right?
Yeah.
But what I've noticed is that even where we are speaking, I mean, I know you would have mentioned Mr. McIntyre with respect to, you know, having someone who is tech savvy. But what I've realized is that the age group that is now on Facebook is a older demographic, right? Than 15 years ago, when I was in university, when it was just when it was just a matter of you had to have a university account to join Facebook at the time, because Facebook was a fraternity a platform. So you could talk all kind of nonsense on Facebook and we know it's crap. But now you can't do that again because everyone takes it seriously.
Yeah, they shut it down too.
And even it is used as a tool for employers to actually check and review what you are doing or potential employers. So that now has become part of our DNA. Right? So in terms of the Facebook, in terms of the TikTok now has become a more Gen Z type platform. Instagram, the millennials. So it has a space for everybody. So technology has a space for everyone. And what we have done, we have incorporated all the platforms on our Kaiser House official social media, such as YouTube. We'll be streaming for the first time our Judges Night straight from our YouTube channel and our Facebook channel. Tomorrow we'll be streaming from TikTok as well as Instagram. So all those pages we have on our team, and of course our media team. They are a team that films in 4K and in 6K, right? So you're seeing quality. So you're seeing quality product, and you would see that, of course, from our social media. Actually, one of the members of our team who's doing the graphics, he is from Nigeria. Not Nigeria, sorry, Kenya. So he's someone that is in Kenya doing graphics for Trinidad, right? And of course, you know, you're looking at talents all over too, as well, right? We have a team of 2 young people who are actually using their phones with their tripods to do their reels, you know. So there's a space for everyone. And I believe with the increase in technology, I mean, I know persons have been asking consistently, well, why it is that we're not getting the live stream, whatever the case, but yes, we appreciate the fact that we want to do the live stream, but we also want you to support culture by coming, paying, and
Yes,
coming to the tents,
yes,
right?
yes.
And not
Yeah,
depending on live stream. And this is one of the reasons why we had not live streamed the opening night of Kaiso House as well.
Yeah.
You know?
hmm Well,
yeah,
I know
if
about pay-per-view and all of that. So
Yeah.
you do
yeah.
too much streaming, nobody ain't coming away, you know. Everybody want to
Yeah.
mini stream.
And that is a
Agreed.
challenge. That's a
Agreed.
challenge we have been observing in terms of when somebody stream our show, leaving it on the YouTube. So
Yeah.
I have
And then
recently had to ask a particular person to take it off, please.
yes, and I'm sure it's the same thing with us in that the same person or the same entity would record the Kaiso products and then basically troll all your pages and put and post your product, right? And say it's promoting Calypso, but you have to also look at people's copyright and intellectual property
I
too, you
think
know.
I think Tuco need to get their own network.
Well, we
That's
have
necessary.
our, I mean, we have the YouTube, but we
A
need to have our
general
own
thing.
network. I
A
agree. We
general
need to have
thing
a radio
for
station.
everybody. For
We
everybody.
need to have a radio station. I agree.
Yeah.
And something that as we talking about this streaming thing, like the other entity you're talking about, something like that Tuco could be in charge of.
Okay. Now I know when people stream live, like you said, it's a kind of freako thing. Now, I was wanting to ask, or maybe I should ask the question about packaging live Calypso performances, like for sale, and I am not sure how you do that online. I mean, it will need the technical experts, if I should put it like that, to package live Calypso, because when people hear recorded Calypsos from the studio, because they hardly have CD now, people go in flash drive and all of that. No, so these recordings are different to live performances, in that you get crowd response, and it adds to the performance and all of that. I mean, the Calypsonians and the fraternity itself must make some sort of revenue. There must be an income. How can that be addressed via social media?
Well, before we go there, one of the challenges we face in this so-called industry here is that people take advantage of us for lack of knowledge. We need to pull in some professional people to get the specific advice on how to really monetize our project. What we used to do at a certain time a few years ago is that every opening night we used to tape the show, get them in CD, it was DVDs. Yeah, DVDs, and have them in the office for sale. So we have quite a few, over the years, 2012, 2013, 2014, these years shows that
Hard
we had in
copy.
the office, hard copy, so that is one of the way that we used to find to monetize the event.
Yeah.
But your second part of the question, where was the asking just now? Just remind me a bit.
How do we make money via sales
Oh, right.
on the social media network?
It had to be preview or something like that.
Pay-per-view.
Otherwise, yeah.
Yeah.
And downloads, digital downloads,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah, we have to sensitize, and I believe that's something that we really have to work with. I mean, and that's something I guess we have to discuss on a top level in terms of
Yeah.
working with CUT
Yeah.
and these organizations through our education and research, so that we can invite Calypsonians to these sessions to digitize their product, because that's the only way you'll be able to make money from streaming. And when I say streaming, digital downloads. So once you go on Spotify or Apple Music or any of the digital music and you just click somebody's song, that's immediately monetized. So we have to really look at monetizing seriously our product, right? And not just depending on YouTube, because YouTube is just there for views. But you can also monetize via YouTube, but you also have to satisfy a certain criteria. For instance, a certain number of views, a certain consistency of
Yeah.
a certain
All of that.
consistency. So it becomes a bit more difficult. But if we're able to have a united front in terms of, well, not united front, but also in terms of consistently engaging our membership with the relevant organization, to go through these steps, because a lot of our members, they just love the culture, they just want the opportunity to perform.
Right.
But you know, for a little dollar, whatever the case is, but it goes beyond that, and it goes beyond that and your legacy. All right, for your generation. So I think in order for us to really make sense out of it, one, we have to monetize. Two, we have to start to promote our culture abroad, like like rigorously, and not just promote for the purpose of Frico, but promote so that we can get investors to invest in our product and invest in our people and music, right? Because I mean, we'll just be going around in recycling. That's what
Yes.
we'll just be doing,
Yeah.
revolving.
Yeah, where's cyber security for products like these? So,
That's a very good question.
That's a hard one. That's a hard one.
Because I was going to make the point just now while Rondell was speaking that I remember a few years ago we was having a Calypso King competition in Mars Camp, and while Shadow was performing, somebody was filming, and he stopped singing and said, in his words, and I quote, "Please don't film me, please. Don't film the Shadow." And everybody just watched to see what going on, and you know somebody was filming him. He clear about that. We just allow people to just take with picture, free sheet, do what you want, film. We happy like that, you know. In certain nations of the world, the culture, you don't just film the culture just so willy-nilly, you know. You have to get past,
License. You had to be licensed.
License and all these different things. You know, you have to have like my general secretary is part of the accreditation, right? To just be filming superstars or what have you. You know, so all these things we just take for natural because you know we think Kiss Carnival.
Yeah, and at the Calypso tents, I mean, everybody's armed with a cell phone, and every cell phone is a camera. So how could you secure that while performances are going on, people are in the crowd?
That hard.
No, well, they just get away with it in Sapa. Sapa have rules, no filming. You know, if your light only flash, somebody come in and tell you hello.
It's so high tech now. It have main camera on the glasses right here.
Yeah,
have a camera right here. You can just press a button.
Yes, that is so true.
Yeah.
So you have to have a phone. So when you think, so if you take somebody's phone by you don't have a criteria, people leave the devices somewhere. They have it on the eye here. They just press a button and they go on.
But the good thing is, but to circumvent that is that, and this is what why it boils down to registering your product digitally, because when you register a product digitally, and persons like those what do you call it? Those not scalpers, but what's called those
Pirates.
Pirates. When they upload your product on online, it can immediately be taken down because now they would know that you are basically infringing on these persons' copyright. Because a lot of times you see YouTube will take down certain things or they will ban you. So this is why we could only do it if we register and if we become unionized in that aspect.
And you have your stamp on it, but that's something, right? So good. You would pop a video on YouTube with your stamp on it, saying that is yours, and it has someone will tape over it and crop it in, you know.
True. That is true.
Crop it in, so you then
see the stamp on it, you know. Where there's a will, there's a way.
You can never really get away from it, but we can curtail it to an extent where we ensure that we properly register our product, right? To avoid those.
That's a plane.
Yeah, but you know, I am always, you know, well, you guys know me. I've been an advocate for this thing, heart and soul, down to the marrow of my bones. I always want to see it being a profitable venture for people who want to get into Calypso. Now, the young people now, what do you think about the young people gravitating into Calypso? We're not thinking Trinidad music and the evolution of music in general. We're talking Calypso. Trinidad is the land of Calypso and steel pan. Okay? A lot of young people are gravitating to the steel pan. We can see that. That is clear. Stevie Wonder can see that.
But if you notice,
Yeah.
young people gravitating to all these different genres and different part of we national artistic pastimes.
Mhm.
But the audience
Mhm.
does mean young people, if
No.
you watch it good.
No.
What can bring about a change to that? Because I too have observed that, because I know how Calypsonians used to be. Somewhere along the line, some Calypsonians chose to go on the racial kind of
I know the political.
Yeah. Well,
Right?
I want to use more racial because we've had
Okay.
political commentary, but some people have included or put into lyrics songs that offended,
Yeah, name calling and that kind of thing.
and that to me had a breakdown of the attendances to the
Yeah.
so tense, right?
If I may,
How is it now?
mm,
How is it now? I mean, opening night is always a grand night.
a grand affair, yeah.
After opening night, what happens to your weeknight shows? And is the weekends attractive enough to have that kind of attendances?
Davey, you see, let me be honest. In the days of 2 radio stations, 610 and Radio Fusion, however, Calypso was, I used to see people, I could remember my grandmother carrying me down my Skinner Park and police on horseback to control the crowd. Right? I remember seeing Winston Bruce, rather, Dr. Rat, pushing away a police, a horse from and coming in the park like them fellas come from Tong, the thing, Sparrow, and that kind of attitude. But what trying to get at? You see the radio station as a frequency. They did this national community a disservice for a national pastime, indigenous to Trinbago, by stopping the playing of our calypso music at least 75%. They did us a national disservice. You see this FM station when it come. I remember when FM come on the scene, and people start to talk about urban station and urban, and we're playing that, and we only playing our next nation music and all that kind of thing. They did we a disservice. So the young people in this who coming up never come in a time. Most of the people know who is adults around 40 so and under. They came in a time when the big music for Carnival is soca. It had all the glamour, the glitz, which is attract the eyes. Right?
And it's easy to create.
And it easy. Oh God, you're the producer. It's easy to create. Right? It's easy to create. So we as Calypsonian, one of the things we miss is every time you record a song, we should have done a video. Right? Which was very expensive as well, to do the two. But the soca artist, his producer charging 10, 12, I never paid that kind of money to do a recording in my life. 10, 12, $15,000 to produce.
But you
plus,
see,
go ahead.
And the thing used to be like, when a producer come out and they make a hit, like we say there's 5. When that hit done, they go on to 12 the next year,
One time. So that's somebody disservice. If I, as I put, like for example, I want to call a brethren in Mitten, Pharaoh. And I put on this morning Pharaoh song playing, and I put it on hard, and all them mix and them hearing it, and they like the Pharaoh have everything, all the ingredients in that song. It has melody, it has satire, it has politics, it has all the ingredients.
And it have a young people beat.
And it have a young people beat. So that is what we have to do with the music. We don't need to we have to make it. Remember, their attention span different to how it used to be, Them people say down. Yes.
Funky it.
I hear you, man. Nice it up. Give me thing to get on. So all these challenges the Calypsonian have to recognize you can no longer come with that. So and what has happened? Everybody else feel that's the way to go because sadly for us as Tuko, we just end up with a little 30-40. And people say, that's it. So that's how it had to be then. So that is how it had to be. So everybody who wants to come into Calypso feel that's how it had to be. But it have great songs, up-tempo songs, humorous songs,
Yeah.
that somehow I can't talk to the judges again. I can't seminar like
that
it
is
a
a
walking.
serious issue. That's a
You know?
serious.
I can't.
That humorous, and I mean I know we discussed. I sorry for butting, but I know we
Nah,
discussed
man,
about
this is
the
what this
whole
conversation is
categories.
about.
I know we discussed about the whole categories, but you know everything boils down to money funding. But I still believe that regardless of what, people won back categories, and
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. That's what I said.
even
yeah.
humor to me, humor is a creative part of calypso,
And
and
it's a main
therefore
ingredient.
I am.
precisely, and therefore I don't understand even for calypso monarch how humorous songs could never make
Yeah. Since after
Yeah, yeah.
Cypher,
I am. I
nobody
used to
can
be
win with a
I
human
used to be
song.
writing a lot of humors and singing that, and Mr. Cairo used to run Kaiso
sorry
at
about
that
that.
time.
No
Yeah.
problem.
Mr. Cairo.
Yeah.
He said not get you going on. You know, that fate to get through. You had to sing a humor to be in the tent, but you had to sing a serious song, you know. Because humor is what's getting tent, eh?
Yeah, the tenders be hungry. All tenders be hungry for humor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I describe tents and the products of the tent as tent kaiso, you know. I separated
Yeah.
from a recorded thing that came out of our studio
Yeah.
for just
Right.
I know
But
tent kaiso have and encores and sometimes guys will do calypsos that they would not record.
yeah, but the problem with the humor is that when you're singing humor, you don't make no big competition with that. And people
Yeah.
want money in their pocket, so they
In
had to
the
sing
pocket.
social
That's
commentary
it.
and other things
That's
and
it.
political and whatever. And even soca,
Yeah.
because the humor man suffering, so it's supposed to have a competition for humors every
For
year.
humor,
So
yeah,
all
yeah.
No,
and then so go ahead.
I give. You see, and that is
Agree.
how sad it is. I want to say this on your program, my brother, so that on my what they doing me what do you call it? My
Your discography,
yes. Make
your
sure
biography.
and say he did tell me that. You know what he is now I saying you cannot judge humor with political.
Yeah.
You
And
can't judge
social.
it with social.
Yeah,
So here what I recommended. But nobody are taking me out because Steve Pascal is an idiot somewhere. He can't tell me what to do. I am saying you have a special score sheet for the humor man. So for 40 points is how much laughter he could evoke.
Yeah.
Right? How much the lyrical pun or the
Yeah.
metaphors you could
Yeah.
inject into the thing and the melody will right. But so when you judging, as they say, and the next man, Sheldon Nugget, coming to do a humorous piece, you pull out
Yeah.
the sheet with that criteria. You cannot
Yeah.
use the same sheet while you're judging the politics and the
Yeah.
social commentary with the judging man.
Or you just have a humorous competition and then
Yeah,
No, I don't want
Yeah.
to separate it. Kaiso is good Kaiso.
yeah,
All
but
I understand what you're saying.
remember, humor could be injected in any kind of element of calypso.
No, but Calypso was always had a humorous tinge in it. Your last
I mean?
line, for example, when you say Kaiso boy, they evoke a little laughter from you. You know, I don't know since when we get this church song and feeling it's Kaiso and that kind of, and then what happened to
The
the
church song.
factory, and then everybody want to go by the factory because last year one of the factory owners win the monarch, so everybody going by the factory.
So give me an example of the church song you're talking about.
Ba, 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 bo, ba, bo, ba, da, da, ba, do, da, da, da.
So gentlemen, I plan to have a very special calypso show to talk about calypso and what you know. But today we
Yeah,
talk.
but you can't blame the church song because the church song that they want, the church song that with it. I mean, I just sing so song.
Right there, go,
I
stay
can't
right
come in
there.
because
No.
I just sing my social.
Remember,
So I'm gonna I fall in that
remember-
category.
remember, if your song go too fast, they will think you're singing a soca. So you gotta be careful.
And so can I get in these days? So,
And that's the problem. No, usually, there was a great man who used to do the courses, and everybody feel they used to have to sing like he. Because he win an X amount of crown, so he have the formula, right? There is no formula for intellectual power. A man could come with what? Because it's coming out of his creative mind, and he must be able. So at this and I like Mr. Shack did a song some years ago about the formula. You can't have formula for creativity, Papa.
They call it the
It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Exactly. I come out with my mindset and I do a thing just like it for what it is.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
At the Calypso 10s, because I'm trying to stay with Calypso 10s, I will invite you guys.
You can't get away from the Calypso itself. Don't try that.
Raw Calypso. You know? I want people to know what's going on at the 10s and stuff. So tell me, so we have a cast that includes soca artists, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now they call it soca, but I like to stay under the umbrella of Calypso, because if we have to go to the Grammys, I think we should put Calypso.
Party Calypso.
Just
no
Calypso.
coming at you there.
Because, in Jamaica, they have reggae and Beanie Man and won Grammys, and they do dance hall. But they don't go abroad and say this is a dance hall. This is reggae. We know it as dance hall and rockers and the breakdown, just like soca and stuff, right? Now, what I'm asking now is that I'm hearing this year in particular, I'm quite appreciative of some of the soca songs that are really calypso, up tempo beat, that they call it soca because they want to call it soca.
Like Nadia. Nadia is a pretty famous song, and that's folk, that's Afro folk, that's folk.
Nice.
Song in Calypso.
Mikel Teja, that DNA is a total calypso. So if these guys are in the tents, is it part of their contractual arrangement that on judges' night they can be also judged for the semifinals?
Come on. Yeah. I mean, it's Calypso. Listen, Davey.
I know. I want you guys to say
everything is Calypso, you know.
Yeah.
Somebody decide, well, listen, I want to create a thing and get a little fame for myself, maybe. But the music of Trinidad and Tobago is Calypso. Go in the dictionary.
Yes.
You ain't seen nothing, no soca. You ain't seen nothing but no lambada.
Calypso.
The word Calypso is in the dictionary. The world know Calypso. We have been in many movies. We have had great American sing Calypso. You know, Harry Belafonte wasn't alone. We had the man who was the chief of staff and all them people, Powell, and all these people singing Calypso. You know, so that somehow a gentleman decided, listen, that's how they divide and rule the slaves. Let me divide and rule the art form. And that division created wealth for people.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Right? And that is the reality. You're a Trinidadian, you're a Tobagonian, your accent is what's selling you. And once you're singing in that accent, to whatever music is Calypso, Papa. No argument for me.
It's Calypso.
No argument. We do ourselves a disservice.
The BPM could be different, but the structure is the same.
Lovely. It's your accent. Look, Beanie Man tried to sing a thing, and he tried to get inside the tone.
Yeah.
Because when a man, you want to be considered a good Jamaican reggae artist, notice all the Trini who does try to sing reggae.
You had to go there too and spend some time, you know. So you go tune in.
They had to go in the Jamaican accent. I remember Davey in the morning when I used to be chanting. Hear what Percy and them used to be saying. He's a good chanter, man, you know, but he don't sound like a Jamaican.
The twang.
Because I used to sing Trini.
Yeah.
I'm a Trini twang, so I used to be actually writing Kaiso, but just singing it to them, Dennis Brown and them rhythm and them kind of thing.
Yeah. But,
So
reggae too copied a lot of Calypso strains.
Bob and them say that. Bob and them admit that.
Yes. I've read about that too. Tell me, I want to know about responses. I've been asking the question about responses weekdays at the tents. And well, I know weekends people will more have the time out to come visit the tents and things. How have been responses thus far?
Well, by us, the tents have been doing well. Eh? I don't want to negatively impact on your program like we are doing so good. We have been doing well in that we're making funds, we're generating profits. By the gate, it mightn't be the kind that you really want, but at least we're getting people to come through the turnstile and pay the money, right? Thankfully, we are assisted by the General Council, what do you call it, NCC, you know, to assist us with the subvention. That has helped a lot, you know, to cover some of the costs. But it tends, we can't give up. If we throw we hand up in the air, that wouldn't make sense.
We ain't going nowhere.
Because I remember back in the days when you had to be by a tent very early to get in. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember those days. Sheldon, how is it with the Kaiso Caravan?
Well, the caravan coming along. All I can say, we coming along. We at La Jolla, the 26th and 27th. The 27th, we have a vintage show, and we promised that show gonna be thing because what we doing is celebrating the past, and we will be singing a lot of songs from past artists.
Mhm.
Some dead and gone, and some still here.
Yeah.
So vintage night will always be a good night. So come down and like yourself at La Jolla on the 27th. Vintage plus.
Good. Rondell, I know you are at the epicenter.
Yeah, the
What-
epicenter. Well, I
what-
mean, we have. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, what are the responses like in that particular location?
Wait. It almost passed over my head, but I don't realize it depends on which epicenter you're dealing with. The
Yeah,
epicenter
that the word
of-
Mohammed Kuwait.
the epicenter being the hub of carnival, or the epicenter being competing with
No.
different events in the center.
No, at the hub of Cardiff.
Right, so
legally speaking here, but
no, I have to be sure. But I mean, I think we have probably we have probably the most nights out of all the tents,
Yeah,
I believe.
yeah.
I mean, this year we have 13 nights, right? Although we did cut down a bit, but we have 13 nights. As I said, we opened on the 18th, which was a Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday was full house. Friday, we had tent night as well. Saturday we did a free show, which was of course full.
Mhm.
We have judges night Wednesday. That's tomorrow. The tent runs straight until Saturday.
Yeah.
We have surprise guests each night. Of course, the surprise guests are our our upcoming our soca stars who actually want to be involved, want to give their services free, I must say, right? To the tent.
Yeah.
A good feature of our tent now is that you come in and you enjoy your free food. We have had a couple
Alright.
tent nights where where you get your free pillow, your doubles, your pork. We had about 2 or 3 nights opening night as well as the other night where we had persons who was able to indulge, of course, in that meal. But we each night, of course, we have the cast. In terms of special nights, we do have 2 clashes. One is with Kaiso Showcase. That's on Friday,
Yeah.
right? That's this coming Friday, the 26th. And we have but that is usually a good show. And then we have the clash as well with Classic Russo, which is on Wednesday, the 31st of January. Right? So those are the 2 special shows. We have the Friday 26th and Wednesday the 31st of January. That is the clash. Of course, it opens at 8 p.m. You can get tickets at the door. 200 singles, 2 for 1. As well as if you want to get advance tickets, we have advance tickets on Island E-tickets, as well as outlets such as, well, of course, the Kaiso House, box office, Tuku head office, Crosby, St. James, as well as WAC 90.1 in San Fernando.
Great.
So those are the events of Kaiso House.
When it comes to musical accompaniment, the bands that back these singers, are they? I don't want to put it like this, but make you understand what I'm saying. Are they old school players, guys who are musical literate, or does it involve young musicians who are getting into the Kaiso kind of music?
I feel it's a combination of both. But one thing I've noticed is that they are capable of reading scores, which is an important commodity in the whole Kaiso 10 vibes, because everybody had to come with the scores. For example, we have Reza Shah band led by Oral Rodriguez, police officers, and we notice a lot of police officers are engaged in a lot of the tents band, because they are very highly skilled players.
Yeah.
Like for example, Somerville is a police officer as well. Excuse me, in Kaiso House. So they have a few youths that maybe and then some of the military bands, including cadets as well, because Oral came out of the cadet scene in '93 by us with a guy named Charles Pierre, right? So that he have been playing, blowing that sax for many years. Very competent guy. So, the combination of old school and upcoming, just like the Calypsonians, old school, upcoming, so that is how it is really.
Sheldon, what's it with your band?
Our band is well, we used to be with the Reese brothers, and now we with Ricardo and the Sunshine Band, which is a mixture of youth and seasoned performers, more mature people. And as Razor Sharp, well, we not Razor Sharp, we Samurai Sharp.
That's very sharp.
Like you look at your body, red man, and take the MC walking that tent, I will tell him.
At Kaiso House, now the reason why I said Kaiso House is at the epicenter, the hub of the thing. I know it has some competition with the Carnival Village. It has,
I thought I so appreciate.
Rondell now exits the chat.
I so appreciate that timely intervention because it don't make sense at all to me.
But all in all, you guys would say that it's alive, it's well.
Yeah, it's alive.
And with your kind of dedicated input, it can move on because I know
keep it.
More people at executive levels now.
Yeah, once we put certain things inside that we talk about and we implement them, we could keep it floating a little longer and keep it up there.
At least for our aspect of our side of things, I think we can't have. I mean, and respectfully, we can't have culture competing with culture. We can't have calypso competing with calypso. Meaning in the same vicinity, because one will always. If you have a free show versus a paid show, automatically it will go to a free show, right? So we probably have to consider moving forward how well it works, because as we see, it can cause problems, and we have seen it previously. We're seeing it now. I mean, yes, thanks to the Carnival Village, artists are getting exposed, people are getting attracted to the culture. But if we want to push our product, and if persons are saying, well, calypso dying because nobody can come in the tent, or we depending on government. But when we try to be self-sustainable, then we are met with a brick wall, because now we have other types of events, which is similar types of events trying to compete with us, which in my mind doesn't make sense. If we want to sustain our product, it doesn't make sense.
That, because it bothers me, because I will go all the way to promote calypso and calypso music, and and I would really like to see young people gravitating towards calypso and the calypso, endeavors, whatever they want to deal with in calypso, because there are some youths who can be good writers, and there are some who could be good singers. Bali made a statement this year where
all of is calypso.
Yes, all of is calypso.
I wanna compliment Tuco for having this freestyle thing. Is like to encourage you, because I look at the freestyle thing as a modern extempo, So the youth they kind of gravitate into that. So that's one way we could get them in the calypso business.
I like how you say that.
They must be commended for that.
Because I keep telling them, freestyle and extempo is the same thing. Yeah. It's just the young people don't want to use the word extempo because they feel it a old people thing. It comes like the soca and calypso. So freestyle and extempo is the same thing. I will do a song on that.
Yeah, it's the same thing. All of it is calypso.
Well, I mean, we could say that, but then it's a format. As we say, soca and calypso is just the format. But it allowing persons to come in. And it gravitating the demographic that we're looking for to be part of the festivities and be part of what we see as extempo.
Yes.
And if it means that it is be doing that and it is working, it means that we should embrace it for what it is.
Yeah.
Rondell, if you take a slow song, let me say a song about BPM 75 and you carry it about 155.
I don't hear any Sheldon, so I'm not sure.
If you hear me now? Hello?
Yeah. You hear him? Rondell.
No, I don't know if it's probably me. I'm hearing you, Ras, but I'm not hearing
Okay, what
Sherman.
he's trying
I'm
to
not
ask you,
sure.
if you take
If you take a song,
slow
it's,
song
all right, right,
at
BPM
75
75,
beat,
Right,
yeah,
right, and you carry it to about
right.
175. Tell me what song I like.
soca.
Is that so?
Yeah, the word soca. That's all. It's,
Now,
it's
now
the
you see that,
variant.
like I said to you guys,
Yeah, the variant, yeah.
Yeah,
we talking TED talk, but seeing that
Raptor
you
and
guys,
everything came from where?
yeah,
It came from
Calypso,
as
Calypso.
far as the transatlantic slavery,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
it evolves.
yes. I mean, soca to me was a beat created by Rashoti. I don't want to get too much into that,
You
you
better
know,
had.
because what we are hearing now is certainly a different beat. There's a lot of rhythm now, and all of that. Now, guys who don't have their music
Something is
scored,
wrong here.
guys who don't have their
I think
music
I'm only
scored,
hearing us.
and probably have,
Okay.
you're not hearing me? Are you hearing me, Rhonda?
Rondell, you're hearing the moderator, David?
No, it seems
No, I'm
like
not. No, I was hearing
he,
David.
You hearing
Just
David?
it's just
he
you. I'm
somehow
hearing.
he's hearing you, Ras.
No,
So
I'm
the
not.
You're
question,
I'm just
hearing
hearing
me.
you.
I think that,
relay the
that
question
is,
to him for me, Ras.
yeah, go ahead.
What I'm
You,
asking is
mhm.
that guys who don't have music scored and have music like probably on a flash drive or maybe on a CD, is that accepted in the Calypso tent?
Okay, what he's asking, Rondell, is if guys who don't have the music scored and only have it on a flash drive or a CD, is it accepted at the Calypso tents?
Let's see if he hears. It seems
You
that
hear me?
maybe where he is
He
not.
on mute. You heard me,
Yeah,
Rondell?
yeah, I'm hearing. No, I just had to refresh. I just refreshed the page
Okay,
on my phone. Yeah.
Yeah. We are talking about the acceptance of
flash drives
music
and
that are not
CDs.
scored for the band to be accompanying the artist. Is it accepted?
No, well, this is a different time. We can't. I mean, they don't expect. I mean, in 2024, we don't expect a band to transpose your music. That's not what they're being
That the
paid
days
for.
are combo, Davy. That the days
Yeah,
are
yeah,
combo.
that's not what they're being paid to do. They're being paid to read
To
your scores and
read.
Yeah,
to read. So
come with a score.
yeah, so that is something that is unreasonable to expect a band to have to interpret your music.
Yeah.
No
Everybody
error.
must be on a level playing field.
Davy, that
Yeah.
come like you're going in the courthouse without your counsel. It don't make sense. The magistrate go tell you, come on, where's your counsel?
Yes.
And he will say, well, I could talk for myself. He said,
Yeah. Mhm.
I see men get beat up.
Mhm.
That's already in court.
It's mandated that you score your music.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to score your music because we have a band
And if you reach in the band without your music score, you'll get somebody in the band to score it.
to score it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Most bands, yeah, have a writer.
Or more than one.
Mhm,
Yeah.
In fact, that is Russia.
Yeah. Just glad if you come without your music scored.
So, gentlemen, what else can you tell me about the Calypso 10 for the season that I didn't ask you? What do you feel that I didn't ask you that we should
Well,
explain here?
You really didn't ask me who is my cast in Kaiso Showcase.
Okay,
So I can
let's
tell
hear.
you, this year the team is really stiffer than ever. We
Mm.
playing on the song from my good friend Snakey, Evan Charles. Stiff. So we use that team, stiffer than ever. And he is at Kaiso Showcase. We have people like Queen Victoria, Tamika Darius, the former Calypso Queen,
Yeah.
Banjela, former Young King, Daddy Chiney. He is still reigning as
reigning
the
Chutney
Chutney
Soca
Soca Monarch. We have a woman by the name of Alicia Richards. She is dynamic. You have to see her, to perform. Mr. Mac is no secret. We have Carice Pascal, young golden voice, El Drago, veteran, Lady Adana, Pharaoh, the man with the song of the moment to me. I expect great things happening from him. Kerry John, a young brother who does the soca very well. He's one of those dynamic performers. As I said before, music by Reza Shah Band, led by Oral Rodriguez, and we have chorus by the Kaiso Flames. Now we have other artists.
Yeah.
Namely, why does it doing me that? Why does it doing right? I get it now. Namely, Kenny Phillips. You know that guy?
That's my good friend. That's my good buddy. Imagine Mr. Philippe.
Mr. Philip. We have Eunice Peters. We have Magella Simon. She recently won a gospel episode competition. We have young Rivaldo London. You will remember his brother won in 2019, Ronaldo London.
Yeah.
He was the national monarch. We have Queen Voice.
Mm-hmm.
Kadeem Graham, he's a counselor who has arrived with a beautiful piece. You know, Hot Sauce, another artist you need to see. Hot Sauce, right? The Juba, and a beautiful lady by the name of XC Lynn. You know, she had a dynamic song on Leave My Business and My Own.
That's a nice song.
You know,
I like it.
Opening night, I must say that we had as a special guest performer, young Joshua Regrello. You must know Joshua Regrello.
Yes, I know
one of the
Joshua.
dynamic young panelists coming up. You know, our MC is Mr. Damian Melville. I mean, you don't get them better than that, right? So I think all in all, I want to talk about my staff. There's a lady by the name of Sherilyn Joseph. She is the secretary, but she is also the tent manager of the tent. You know, a very, very no nonsense individual. We have a lady recently joined the executive. Her name is Ann Donowa, and let me tell you something. That is one of the most hard working individuals. Watch that. When one person could sell 54 tickets for opening night, that is not a normal feat. I used to sell 25, and that was a big thing.
Yeah.
You know, so when you have somebody like that on your staff and on your executive, you can't ask for more. Also have a lady by the name of Annalisa Hodlin. She's a trustee as well. Carver Thompson, you have seen Carver before, right? He's the PRO, and Victoria Cooper, as well, she doubling up not only as a performer in the tent, but also as the vice chairperson, right? Yeah. These days, the woman, when they're in vice chair position, don't call them vice chairman. That is a no-no. You have to say vice chairperson.
Yes.
So I want to be particularly clear with that. So that's Kaiso Showcase really. As I said before, Friday, we bouncing up with Kaiso House at City Hall in San Fernando. I think that has been sanctioned. I hear the ads running on the radio. You know, and Sunday we're doing the TAP show, right? That is for the Association for Retired People.
Yeah.
You know, we're going in Point, 410 next Friday, right? The 2nd, and as you know, the 3rd is Fiesta. And then on Carnival Thursday, I think possibly the 8th, we'll be at the Republic Bank car park with something we have been doing for the past 20 odd years, performing Calypso at that venue, Republic Bank car park, with the Couva Tabacate Regional Corporation. So we look forward to that. So basically, in a nutshell, that is us at Kaiso Showcase.
Okay. Sheldon, let's say about your cast.
Our cast is led by Johnny King, Cardinal, Bali, Dirty Curty. They say we have Blackie with us. Sexy Susie, who is a former national queen. We have Anthony Johnson, the Stinger. Prince Unique, Tiny, who came 2nd in the Monarch last year. Yeah. We have Extempo by Lady Africa and Lingo. We have Slick, Eric James, Young Rose, Papa Mel, Sweetheart, who does a nice chutney number.
Yeah.
We have Brother Alpha, Kid Kalalu, Dan the man who has a nice song about karate. You had to come and hear that one. Sweet D, The Messenger, Uncle Jam, Sheldon Nugget, and Jerisha Regis Duncan, which is one of our young stars at the thing.
Yeah.
All right. Our management team is consists of Johnny King, Cardinal, who's the vice chairman. We have Dirty Curty, who's the treasurer. Ninja, who's a trustee. Eric James, myself, who is the PRO. We have Judy Benaku, who is our secretary, and Vanessa in the office, who does a beautiful job. You know, one of the sweetest person you'll ever meet in Calypso.
Okay.
Right. So we'll be at the La Jolla, the 26th, the 27th.
Yeah.
The 27th is the vintage show, and we're having a big show on the 1st of February at the Bishop Anstey High School in Trin City. This one, and the tickets cost $200. Nice. That's a easy fee to pay to come on your guys. So
Davey, please permit me before Rondell comes in. I had forgotten to mention Carissa Charles. That is one of our more dynamic females. She came 2nd in the Queen show night before. You know, I want to publicly say congratulations, Carissa. And hear the song she's singing, Competition. You know, so the judges, she interfere with the judges' mind.
Ironic.
You know? So congratulations, Carissa. Ironic. That's the word. Ironic. You know, Carissa Charles. Glad for you.
Rondell, tell us about the style list that you have there.
Yeah, well, of course, as I said before, we have a star-studded cast, as I should say,
Yeah.
led by, of course, Brother Valentino, Poser, Brother Budada, Brong Boy, Marvelous Marva, Gypsy, Twiggy, Bunny B, Karina Shea, Dwayne O'Connor, Chuck Gordon, Tizzy O'Connor, Rondell Donovan, Mr. Shaq Black Sage, Calypso Kerr, Sister Ava, Gary Codner, Lady Aisha, Aaron Duncan, after Kojo, Young Poser, Queen Aye, Traveling Man, and Keisha, and Mark Pierre. We are backed by Kern Somerville and his sensational band. They're doing an awesome job. They would have started with Kaiso House last year. And it's a mostly young band, but of course they are seasoned musicians. And of course we have chorus by the Kaiso House Jewels. This year we have 5 Kaiso House Jewels. We have one addition who is reading Miss Lauren Rivi, Makilia Miller, right? And she is doing a great job. And of course, I must shout out the hardworking management team, Mr. King, Brother Valentino, um, Melissa Williams, Campbell, Corinne Ashley, and myself. And everyone who is working hard to ensure that Kaiso House is a success, of course, NCC, right? Mr. Davin Thomas, who is our production who's dealing with production management.
Yeah.
Of course, Vision Adobe deal with media, as well as GQ Signature, who's also dealing with our media and production in Kaiso House. So it's a big team, it's a big cast, it's a big infrastructure, big budget, but
Mm.
of course, we we are here to build Calypso and to live Calypso. And I mean no bias. I mean it's a South boy to my heart, but of course the next monarch coming from Kaiso House again.
Yeah. And that once again, in using your word big, that would be a big shock.
Yeah. Uh, I wanna just mention that I just wanna mention that the MC for the East Zone, the Kaiso Caravan is Godfrey Pierre, and the background vocals is by the Caravan Gems, and music by
No,
Ricardo and the Sunshine Band.
yeah, no
Nice.
The
filter,
Caravan,
Godfrey. No filter,
Yeah.
Godfrey.
That is
But of
anything.
course, I forgot to mention, as you mentioned MCs, we have Omari Ashby, the
Yeah.
Rapsoman, and Alan the Entertainer. Right? They gel well. They are amazing MCs, and trust me, you're in for laughs as well. Right?
Nice.
So that's
yeah.
important to note.
Now, I want to ask you guys a general question, and I need an answer from each of you from your personal opinions. We have community tents. How effective you think they are? Is it a feeding ground for the bigger tents? How you guys analyze a community tent? Because I had invited Kinte of the Central Rainbow Stars, but I don't know if he's tied up or what, but he hadn't been able to respond. So what's your guys' take on these community tents? Are they filtering the best of the product that come out of these rural areas, if I should say they are rural areas? Because Central Rainbow Stars are from Shogunas. That is
Yeah.
not a rural area, but
It
they
was
have
the
the
original
Mhm.
spot was really Shagonas when it was started by the late oh boy Dennis Williams. You more know him as Santa the Master,
Oh yes, yes.
right? And he passed away, and well, the rest is history.
So the tent isn't based in Shogunas anymore.
No, I think it's based the roving more or less.
Oh,
You
okay.
know,
But
the
what's
roving
your
more or
take on
less.
the community tents? I mean, are they going to just remain community tents because they they,
I,
they, they can't get into the big tents?
I think the community tents is necessary because there are a lot of good singers that don't get into tents that have to go to the community tents,
Okay,
right?
okay,
Um, and it's a good stepping stone, I think, for artists moving forward.
yeah, yeah,
You know,
okay. Ras, what's your take on community tents?
Well, the community tent serve their purpose. The word it didn't start off as the word community tent. I
yeah,
think Brother Resistance coined the phrase,
Mm-hmm.
right? It was organizations based in particular areas,
Mm-hmm.
and when we try to approach the government for funding to assist them, we decided to use the term community tents,
Oh,
right?
okay.
We want to assist the community tents. They fulfill a role because people like Alyssa Charles, she used to perform in Missionaires, I think Victoria Cooper,
Yeah.
you know, and a lot of artists come from the community tents, you know, just as everything else.
Yeah, even Tiny come from there. He
You
used to
know,
sing with a committee tent in Grandy.
yeah, because listen, some of the biggest construction in Trinidad and Tobago,
They start
the workers came from John D, from Tech, Nickel Institute, and that's how it has been. You must have a ground for people to be trained to go beyond the next level. So the community then serving the purpose.
Yeah.
And I must say they've been doing a great job at it, you know.
Yeah.
How to really support them in whatever meaningful way we could. That is the next question that we have to deal with.
Yes. Randall, what's your take on community tents?
No, community tent is needed because at the end of the day, it allows for a platform for persons who, you know, who one wants to perform and wants and loves the culture, two who are, you know, who may not be able to traverse to the cities, right, to perform or to be part of a tent, right? And of course, you know, the community tents, of course, you know, whereas they see themselves as independent and they want to be independently funded, it's important for community tents to be, you know, to unify itself so that we can advocate for them, you know, and of
And they
course
must be accountable.
yeah, accountable. Yes, they must be held accountable because at the end of the day, we are held accountable to the taxpayers and to the government, right?
Yeah.
So you can't just want to expect monies and then not be held accountable. And this goes for everything. I know persons, you know, of the opinion that yes, there's not only Tuco tents, but there are other tents as well, right? Outside of Tuco tents, like the review, the divas, the icons, etc. Right? Who as well produce, you know, they produce stars, right? We have Naomi Sinnott would have won the national queens, and
Queens,
she
94.
came from Divas
Divas.
Cabaret, right? The
Say
second
it right,
place,
if you don't say it
Calissa.
right.
Do you understand?
You
Because
have to
trust
say
me,
international and all of that.
yeah, right.
Divas,
Cabaret
Cabaret,
International, yeah,
International, blah, blah, blah. Otherwise, you wouldn't
before
want me to speak.
I get a letter.
Yeah. You got it.
Yeah. But in any event, you know, we have, you know, so it's important to have everyone get a space, and I believe we need to have more spaces outside Carnival. I know people like South Zone, they try their best in terms of to do activities outside of Carnival,
On the carnival,
right?
yeah.
And it's important for us to continue doing activities outside Carnival. And one of my suggestions and something that I would definitely bring to the General Council is that with respect to the humor, I believe that the humorous should be a competition outside of Carnival.
Yeah.
Just in time for the humorous or for the comedy,
Festival.
the comedies, the comedies season,
Yeah.
because you know
Yeah,
after
yeah.
Carnival there's usually the comedy season with the
Like
laugh
March.
festivals, etc.
Yeah.
Right? I believe that we should really look to having something for persons who sing humorous, and
Yeah.
let's have a big event, and that event could very much score. We could make plenty income from a
Yeah.
humorous calypso
I think
competition.
it will encourage other artists, other calypsonians to sing humor too, to write humor.
To write
Yeah.
humor,
Yeah.
and you would see a big shift, particularly outside the carnival season, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Davey, more
Yeah.
importantly, in regards to the community tents, most of the people who perform at these community tents are members of Tuco. So we have a role to assist, you know, in some meaningful way to ensure we membership get some sort of stipend or some kind of thing. So something we had to look at too, because at the end of the day, they are our members.
Yeah, and
You
they
know.
contribute.
And they contribute.
Randall, you know, in the earlier part of the program, we were chatting about a sort of permanent space for these tents in their respective zones as a tourism destination. What's your thought on that?
I
All year
totally
round.
agree with that. I totally agree with that because I know now we have cruise ships community in the community country. It really amazes me how I would often hear or even experience as a young boy these different avenues or venues that had culture that was staple for culture. Now that we have evolved, it seems as though these venues are no longer there, like the cruise ship complex.
Yes.
You know,
Mhm.
I believe that we should have a space, a permanent space somewhere down by the somewhere on that end,
Yeah. Yeah.
waterfront,
Yeah.
to promote culture. Same thing in San Fernando. I know San Fernando mayor
Mhm.
has stated at some point that that we will be having tourism. I mean, I believe tourism, or somehow they are trying to get the tourists on the cruise ship
Yeah.
to come to San Fernando
Mhm.
to participate in our culture. Let's do programs for them there.
Yeah.
Tobago, same thing. East,
Yes.
right? I am an advocate for. I believe that it is something that we need to consider,
Mhm.
but everyone has to be on the same page, particularly the executive. And
Yeah.
when I say the executive, I mean government, in
Mhm.
terms of understanding and also appreciating the need for cultural tourism,
Yes. I quite agree.
right?
Yes.
And if there's no space in the budget for that, then we have to clamor on the private sector. I believe the private sector should really take a role
Mhm.
rather than just sponsoring fets.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not though nothing against the I love fet,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
sponsoring fet and activities that just sustains you for
A short show.
a short period,
A
Yeah.
moment
right?
in
And if we
time.
could get a moment in time, and if we could get that investment,
Mhm.
then the returns for them can be great because the government offers tax incentive
Yeah.
for persons who support by sponsorship or culture and stuff like that. So it's
Yes.
important for us, even when we are doing our proposals, to
Mhm.
include the fact that your tax, you're getting a tax sponsorship or fine tax back or
That's
some
great.
way
Yeah. Yeah.
to allow for rather than just using the same recurring, be mobile digital, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there are other areas and other avenues in which we can recoup or get that sponsorship.
But
Mr. Moderator, if you allow me, I want to ask Rondell this particular question.
yeah.
What he was dealing with just now on the subject. Why have in Mr. Manning's period, they had offered, business people to sponsor this, sponsor this, sponsor that, but somehow they never gravitated to it. I've heard that people doesn't want the information to go out, whatever the business, whatever income, blah blah blah, whatever. Could you associate with why you feel they never rush that tax incentive program that Mr. Manning period they had tried to?
I believe they do, they do, but it's just what they sponsor. That's one thing, and of course, I don't think and this is radio. So
Yeah,
so sometimes you may have a situation where whether your books
right. I know
let's
that.
yeah
That is
yeah
what I
yeah
was getting.
yeah
People afraid that
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
to run
Or
out
let's
that.
say, for instance, let's use that Donald Trump scenario, right?
Mhm.
With respect to evasion. So it's whether or not these companies see the value because there's other ways they could sponsor culture, or there's other ways they
Yeah.
could say a sponsor, put
Yeah.
it on the books, but you ain't really sponsor. And
Mhm.
that's also something that has to be looked at in terms of audit. But I believe we also have to look at the fact that we have to make ourselves attractive in order to attract these level of sponsorship.
Yes. I quite agree.
Yeah. Yeah, that is where we would really have to start.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you guys. It's been a nice, healthy conversation. I'm happy that you guys were up and ready to face the task here because you hear my boy call him a DV.
David Crockett.
That's a homegrown South
They
name.
ain't gonna know that morning time, boy. Cassette. That was the order of the day cassette, boy.
Yeah. So I want to thank you, gentlemen, and I will connect with you again post Carnival to
Mhm.
hear how things panned out because I am and will always be the advocate for what I call we music and we culture.
Well, it's a pleasure being here today. Thanks for the invite and hope to do it again sometime.
Yes. I'm going to
Yeah.
send all you guys. Well, what I do, I send my email to you guys, and I want you guys to send me whatever recorded music
Okay.
so that we can load up the system here.
Okay,
All
my
right.
brother.
All right. So, Randall, I'll send
Certainly.
you my email, and I want to wish you all the best. You guys will see me popping up. You know, I always pop up at these tents. You
Yeah,
know,
man.
it's only the
man.
east I haven't frequented, and I
Well,
shall not responded so far.
wise men
when
come
you
from
are-
the east here to come down.
Well, you are invited. You're invited on Wednesday, of course, to our
Yeah.
judges. I will just take the information from you and
Yes.
yes.
So
that's
you
on
could
us.
you could come down on Vintage Night, which is on the 27th at La Jolla. We're looking out for you.
All right. Good. I will
Just,
keep in
just
touch
give
with
me,
you guys.
just heal me out and tell me you're passing through, man. You know, my phone always on. And this thing about wise men come from the east, that was in the Old Testament.
All right, Ross. Good one. All right.
Have a blessed evening.
But
Yeah,
great
boy.
men,
Yeah,
but great
boy.
men,
Yeah,
but great
boy.
men, but great men come from the south.
Very well. Very well. You ever hear about Southern hospitality? I never hear about
That's
Eastern
right.
hospitality or Northern hospitality. It's always Southern hospitality.
Well, it's nice treat the one because they've been from South too.
I'm sorry for you, boy.
That's
Yeah,
right.
boy. Yeah, boy.
I noticed
Stay in
that.
your lane.
Stay in your lane.
I like to be there so that I can come here to report on what I saw there. So I'll be at all
Right.
these events. I'll make it my duty to come visit. I'm going to remember those nights, and I'll come on those nights, and I'll surely come back here to report on what I saw. And
Okay, brother.
keep the flag flying.
Yeah, man. Enough
All right.
respect.
So you guys be safe and take care.
Certainly.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's
Thanks for having us. Bye.
Yes. Thank you, man, Randall. That's it for today's edition of Hard Talk Trini Ting.